because I was exercising and I was working out and I was swimming and I was lifting and I was cross training and I was like doing kettlebells. I was like doing everything possible. And even with all those exercises, it still wasn't enough. But what I learned is I trained jiu-jitsu close to 20 years ago. And at the time I was working out, going to the gym, I'd say 3 to 5 days a week. I was lifting, I was in pretty good shape. And there came a point where I felt like this is getting old and redundant and I really wasn't challenged. You know, honestly, I kept hearing people talk about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and one of my friends just kept, he's like, Muhammad, you have to try it. You have to try it. And I'm like, I'm too busy for this. I got too many things on my plate. Don't worry about it. Please leave me alone. He's like, you don't understand. You're gonna love it. And I knew he was sold on jiu-jitsu. He just wouldn't leave me alone. So I said, okay, whatever. I'll go try it. And I'll never forget my first class I took. And after the class, I just was asking myself, I'm like, why should I not sign up? And I was looking for a reason to say no. Because I know it's like signing up at a gym, starting up a new workout program. I know it's gonna, incorporating one more thing is an interruption to my schedule. So I was looking for a reason why I should not sign up, and I couldn't find one. I was sitting there, I got a good workout. I really liked the training. I felt welcomed. And after that, I'm like, okay, and the pitch was at the time, I was like, what do you think? You want to sign up? We've evolved a lot more into making the structure and the classes conducive to people who have no experience. Because I was in shape and because I was exercising and I was working out and I was swimming and I was lifting and I was cross training and I was like doing kettlebells. I was like doing everything possible. And even with all those exercises, it still wasn't enough. But what I learned is my foundation and base in nutrition and weightlifting and resistance training and recovery really complemented me as a jiu-jitsu athlete. And it didn't take long for me to realize that you don't need to learn to be tough in jiu-jitsu. Like, you literally walk into a gym and I believe you check the box of you were tough, you were brave, you have what it takes. Because you go to a gym to learn. And so anyway, I said, okay, 6 months in, I'm like, okay, now I need to learn to be technical. Now I need to learn to say, I'm an athlete, I'm a competitive athlete. What have I learned in the past that I could bring to jiu-jitsu with me? And it wasn't about training harder. It wasn't about lifting more. It was about lifting to complement my Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It was about taking specific movements and angles in Brazilian jiu-jitsu and applying them on the mat. And over the course of 6 months after I started, over 15 to 20 years, I have put together programs and workouts that give me the muscle memory, the fast twitch muscle memory, where when I get into a position, my muscles are primed, prepped, trained, and ready to execute the move. And I'm not talking about a deadlift. I'm not talking about a squat. I'm not talking about explosive things like that, because that's a one-dimensional movement that will only give you strength and only give you power and explosiveness. But what we need as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athletes is explosiveness in the technique. And it's very, very consolidated. And if you just started training jiu-jitsu or you've been training a long time, you know that you need those fast twitch muscle fibers in a very, very forensic, precise movement. And that's what we teach, and that's what our program shows, and you get results a lot faster than you think.